Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we've got some hot new aero shoes, new top secret tyres, and your thoughts on road bikes with suspension.
Not to mention your upgrades and the bike vault. Now, it has been a quite quiet week in the world of tech, but don't worry, we've got a couple of scoops for you this week.
Yeah, many of you will have seen in the news that Victor Campanaro set a brand new hour record aboard Bike Face, or the Flying Moustache, or whatever it's called.
Actually, funny you should say that. I went onto Sportser, the Belgian sports website, and the name that won the vote, so the majority votes, wasn't actually the Flying Moustache or Moustache. But I don't know, I can't remember now, it's gone from my mind, but yeah, it wasn't either of those names.
Well, anyway, even if you did see that in the news, you may not have seen that Victor was actually using some hot new tech to get that record. Check out these Gurner shoes that he was using.
Ooh. I never know how you actually say that name. If it's Gerner? I don't know. I'm sure someone will correct us, as ever, in the comments, so please do let us know. Either way, they're the G Stilo, and they're a lace-up shoe. I've never actually used a lace-up cycling shoe in all my years.
Yeah, I have. I like them.
Yeah. I always get worried that they would come undone and go in the drivetrain and get all tangled
It's not happened to me.
No, you're obviously good at doing up your knots. Right, anyway, so they are a lace-up shoe, like I say, and there's an aerodynamic covering, which is made up of stretchy fabric, which covers up those laces to try and get you through the wind just a little bit easier. And well, they worked for Campanaro, didn't they?
Yeah, well, some of you may be asking why use this and why not just put shoe covers on your shoes. Well, the answer is quite simple. For UCI track events, you're not actually allowed to use shoe covers. So it has to have a sort of an aerodynamic feature built into the shoe.
Yeah, it's an odd rule, that, isn't it? Especially if you've suffered from, I don't know, cold feet syndrome or something.
Velodromes are normally quite warm though, aren't they?
They are, yeah, but they try and get around the rules a bit here and there. Yeah.
More tech later.
Yeah. Right, hot topic time. But first of all, we need to revisit last week's hot topic where we discussed suspension on road bikes and are they a gimmick or not? And well, we knew it was going to light up the comments, didn't we?
It did, but we had some really great comments from you guys, so thanks for them. There's some really rounded ones as well. So we're going to have a quick look at some of them. Unreal 1066.
There we are. Battle of Hastings, bit of history for you there.
Yeah, he says the first Future Shock bike, which I have, is brilliant. So presumably this is a 1066. He owns one of the Specialized Roubaix,
yeah.
Or maybe a Diverge, because they have it as well. And he says a true 5-star bike.
5-star.
I've never thought it's heavy, and it would better for me to carry less. It'd be better for me to carry less on my ride. Well, I mean, he's someone who actually has one of these bikes, and really rates it.
Big fan of suspension on road bikes.
Yeah.
Who's this? John Cobb. Yeah. We had the same debate on suspension in the mountain bike world at the start of the 90s. There were those that were pro and against. Well, John, I remember that pretty fondly, and I think all of us were pretty pro, to be honest. But either way, that's your opinion. It says, nowadays, it's pretty much the normal to have a suspension trail bike. Well, yeah, I think I'm probably one of the only people out there who doesn't, actually. Well, I've got front suspension. John Cobb, though, personally, I'm all for it. After all, I live in the UK. Pretty much all of our roads could rival the cobbles. Very good point, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our roads aren't very good.
Henry Ashman said, I think suspending the actual bike is probably a gimmick, as the major suspension parts are heavy. I like the bits that add compliance in the design of the frame or the leaf spring seat post in my Canyon Endure race, as they're light and not very spongy when you're hammering along.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Have you ever used one of those in the canyons?
Yeah, well, I've got an Ultimate, and it's got the same kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a nice little bit of kit, that, isn't it? And finally, Brent McLean. Just like disc brakes on a road bike, I think suspension will one day become mainstream. As we all know, most roads are uneven, and of course, with the occasional smooth asphalt.
Yeah, well, it would be nice if they just made nicer roads.
Yeah, really, really smooth roads.
But we'll see. Thanks for your comments. But also, we should point out. I think we should put in a correction.
Yeah. You got a lot of grief, actually, Ollie, in the comments.
Yes, there were a lot of comments.
I love it.
That rightly pointed out that the NASA pencil pen story that I said was fake news, man. So
I think it was Sanjay Nima who said the anecdote about Russia using a pencil in space is an urban legend. Graphite in space is a terrible idea, as graphite dust in zero gravity can get anywhere, and it's an electrical conductor, so it will literally short any circuit that even comes close to it.
I should also point out that I'm going to correct Sanjay. It's not actually technically zero gravity. It's a low gravity environment. Gravity exists everywhere.
Blimey. We've got some great views, haven't we?
Yeah, we do, yeah. Thanks for your comments.
Right, so this week we're looking at the best tech releases so far in 2019. Or, well, certainly in our opinion anyway.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to begin.
Go on.
Right, with virtual training and riding. I think this winter it's really taken off. Obviously, you know, Zwift and other online virtual training simulation things have been around for a few years now, and smart trainers as well, but I think this winter really took off. One of the reasons for that is more people have it now. Like more of my mates have it. They have smart trainers and stuff. So it's kind of that social element took off. We had a bad winter, so I was on it quite a lot.
Yeah, we had snow. Yeah.
Like one day. But yeah, I think that, you know, more people embracing it, and it felt like it was more of a community on there, and I think that was really cool. Plus, you can pick the world you're riding on Zwift now.
That's always good, isn't it?
Good, yeah.
And also, let's face it, I mean, smart trainers, they've actually come down in price a lot, haven't they? And the quality's improved. Also, smart rollers now, which I'm a big fan of. I really like the realistic feel of those. And, well, let's just put a few things clear, though. When you do ride on them with your mates, it's not just like riding with them, is it? Because, you know, there is that social aspect, I suppose, if you typed away to them, but most of us are probably a little bit too gassed out to actually do that, I reckon. But the good thing about it is, if you're one of these people who's always late for group rides or has a puncture each and every time you agree to meet, well, you're not going to have those excuses, although I have heard of someone using the old, I've had a power cut. I'm sorry, I can't meet you on Zwift today. Yeah. But either way, it is great to actually see.
Power cuts do happen.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
The next big thing in 2019 for me is 12 speed. This could be the year of 12 speed. So Campanaro already had super record 12 speed mechanical, but this year saw them finally release the EPS version. And then of course, SRAM with their Access Red ETAP group set.
Yeah, which is a real head turner actually, isn't it? That group set. I like the chain set with the integrated power meter, and then you've got that flat top chain, which I think looks great.
The chain looks so cool.
Yeah, it looks mega. That. Not to mention the fact they've just released the Force level group set too.
Yeah, that came as a surprise to me. I wasn't expecting that to come out so soon after the red, the red group set, but a welcome surprise.
Yeah, lots of trickle down technology there.
Yeah, but the big thing now is what are Shimano going to do?
I don't know, 12 speed surely.
Well, the thing is, are they? I mean, I don't know. Shimano's still 11 speed, and so you've got the two big group set manufacturers, the two other big group set manufacturers on 12.
Yeah, Rotor have got a 13 speed group set.
Yeah, that came out this year as well. That's exciting.
Yeah, and well, Shimano do have that patent, don't they, for a 14 speed group set tucked away somewhere. So maybe they'll just skip it all together and just go straight up to 14.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know yet if we're going to see something from Shimano this year, but
keep your eyes
it'd be nice to. The interesting thing though is it must be a bit of a nightmare right now if you're neutral service, because you have to have Campanaro, SRAM and Shimano cassettes. You have to have 12 speed
they all
cassettes.
Work.
You
if
have
you're
to
on
have
11
speed cassettes. You have to have disc brakes, rim brakes, and so all the wheels you have to carry.
Yeah, different rotor sizes.
Yeah, that's true. Although I did speak to the Bora mechanics about rotor sizes. This is an interesting
bet
development.
That was fun.
Yeah, we had a really nerdy conversation. And they seem to think that it's going to become standardised in neutral service that all the front rotor wheels are 160mm rotors, and all the rear wheels are 140mm rotors, because that's what most of the teams are sort of moving towards using now. So it'd be interesting to see if that does actually become a standard.
Yeah, whenever I go to a race, I always have a look around the pros bikes and see if anyone is using the same size rotors, because in most conditions, I reckon you can get away with it, 140 on the front. But, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it, if everyone does the same. I think, was it Taylor Phinney who was using a 140 on the front in Roubaix, and all of his teammates were using 160s or something. It was something very weird like that. I think it was Taylor Phinney. So that would have been a bit of a problematic
He always likes
issue.
to be different, that lad.
Yeah. He's a nice lad. Right, other tech now. The standout for me in terms of footwear had to be those specialised Exos shoes that I saw at the Tour Down Under. When I saw them on the feet of some of the Bora lads and also some of the De Koning Quickstep floors, I thought to myself, those look mega cool. I'm going to need a pair of them. And while they look like a football boot upper and everything like that, and mega light, just 99 grams for the lace-up versions, which when I told Adam Hansen, him of homemade carbon shoes fame, his jaw dropped.
You
and
broke
couldn't-
him.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it.
You cracked him.
Yeah. For once in my life, I managed to crack him. And the Boadar ones are just 150 grams.
Yeah.
Great looking pair of shoes.
They are
those.
seriously nice.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be very popular.
Very jealous.
Those. Yeah, you're a 44 and a half, right?
44.
44, yeah. 44 and a half.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's also been loads of really nice bikes come out this year as well. And we're not even at peak bike season. So
No.
normally we see loads of bikes launched at the Giro and the Tour. We're not quite there yet, so we're excited to see what happens. But so far this year, we've had, the Roubaix that we've already mentioned with the Future Shock, which was a nice surprise. And then also the Pinarello Dogma FS, shocks as well. And last week, we had the Parley RX-7.
No, that's a Mazda, mate.
RZ-7.
Yeah, that's the one.
But it was very, very nice nonetheless. Yeah. And, the Look 765 gravel bike, which we've got a video on. I did a first look at that as well. So first look at the Look.
Yeah, that's not easy to say. Also, there was the Orbea launched with that new SRAM Access Force group set as well, wasn't it? Which is, a 2020 bike launched already.
Yeah, but
there's still more to come, though, isn't there?
Yeah.
What's your favourite so far?
I think I really like the look of the Parley.
Yeah, it's quite cool, isn't it?
But the interesting thing is all the bikes we've seen launched this year are all disc brake bikes.
That is true.
Which our prophecy back in 2018 that we did towards the end, where we were told by FSA that rim brakes are going to become extinct. It's certainly happening that way.
And if FSA do happen to know this week's lottery numbers, please do let us know.
Anyway, this list of our top tech of 2019 is by no means a definitive list.
Oh no.
They're just some highlights that we've thought of. So, whatever you've seen, let us know what your favourite bits of tech so far have been this year, and let us know in the comment section.
Yeah. Also, let us know what you think is going to be released in the remainder of this year.
Yeah.
If you've got a crystal ball, well, get looking into it.
Or what next week's lottery numbers are going to be as well.
Anyway, get involved. Right, we've got some exclusive hot tech news now, haven't we?
We do indeed. Check these out. We've got our hands on the first production samples of some brand new tyres from Continental.
Ooh.
And the big news here is that they're Continental's first gravel-specific tyres. Now, we don't have all the details, but here's what we do know.
Yeah, like Ollie says, they are gravel specific, 700C, and they come in a 40mm width. And get this, tubeless ready too. And also made from that famous black chili compound.
Yeah, so a very
Does smell good.
premium tyre from Germany. Prior to this, Continental focused mainly on cyclocross tyres, and so hasn't made something this wide for a 700C wheel that's gravel specific. When I was in Oman, I was using a pair of 35mm Continental off-road tyres, and as good as they were, I definitely could have made use of these.
Yeah, what for those gnarly descents that you were railing, or I think that's what they say, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
it's pretty rad.
Apparently, these aren't the only tyres in the range. We don't have any more details, but maybe, just maybe, there's going to be a 650B, and well, who knows, maybe some fancy coloured sidewalls too.
Do you know
I'd
what?
quite like that.
Yeah, because we do know that this isn't the full range, and that is something I'd really like to see. Yeah. I love tan sidewalls or cream sidewalls.
Cream?
That's what some people call them.
Yeah, well, is that to go with your Bentley or something, whatever you drive?
Yeah, my walnut dash.
Yeah, but I'm excited about these.
Yeah.
It's long overdue, actually.
Yeah, and also we can see that, the two we've got here are different tread patterns as well. So this one's got like smaller knobs on it.
Yeah, it's almost like for sandy riding, isn't it?
Yeah, and that one's got...
It's got some, almost like sand pattern in the middle, then some bigger knobs on the edges.
Yeah. I think more details are yet to emerge, so stay tuned. Stay tuned for that, but I can't wait to give them a go.
Yeah.
I want to get them on my Canyon Grail. Get out there.
Well, no, Ollie's got his grubby little hands on something this week, haven't you?
I have, right. I love aero tech. You all know this.
Mr. Aero.
Yeah, there's a small company in the UK called Rule 28 who make aero socks, okay? And these have become very popular. We've seen a lot of cyclists using them, a lot of trackies using them, a lot of people who race.
A lot of road riders actually using them, though.
Yeah, because they do offer a measurable aerodynamic benefit on the lower leg.
Yeah.
Now, they've got a new product out, which are these aero gloves. Now, just looking at them here, they might not look anything special until I put them on. Check this out.
A former hand model in his previous career, Ollie was.
Check this out, right? I don't have really freaky, weird little fingers.
No, he's a pianist. Long fingers.
But what they do is they're specially cut these gloves so that when you're holding onto your extensions or your handlebars, this is all like a single thing. Look, that's pretty interesting design.
Isn't the wind just goes over it.
Quite a novel idea.
Yep.
So I first saw these as a prototype, spied them. Our mates at Who What Bike were using these when they were doing the pursuiting, and they were sort of. I said, "What are those?" And they were like, "Oh, nothing."
Hidden away.
But now they've just come out and you can actually get them. So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Victor Campanaro, he could have gone far sooner.
He should have had a pair of these on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a pair of mitts as well that are a similar sort of deal, but I think these are the freakiest. I like those the most.
Nice. Right then, more tech late next week.
It's now time for screw riding upgrades, buy upgrades, where you submit media. That's a good umbrella term,
media,
isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Of your upgrades, before and after is best, for the chance to win the ultimate prize. Well, it was the Capron. Then it was the Ameryh, and now we've got a new prize. We've upped the ante. It's this, the Camelback Eddy water bottle, so that you can stay perfectly hydrated whenever you're upgrading.
Yeah, it's ideal actually, because right now in the UK it's absolutely blisteringly hot, isn't it? Yeah, it's reached double figures.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so last week then we did change that prize from the Capron to the Ameryh, and well, the winner was Craig from Doncaster and that Ribble upgrade.
Good old Craig.
Yeah, get in touch with us, Craig.
Worthy winner.
Yeah, and you're going to get your saved from now on.
You are.
Yeah, anyway, let's go then to the contenders for this week.
To win the Eddy water bottle. Water sold separately.
Yeah, too hot. Okay, first up this week is Cameron from Victoria Park, Bath in the UK. That is literally a stone's throw from here, isn't it? I can throw pretty far.
Yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, Cameron loves the look of aero bikes, especially the new Cannondale System 6, but he can't afford one. A £230 eBay bargain Trek Speed Concept 2.5 needing some tender loving care, new prime wheels, Vittoria Corsa Speed G Plus 23mm tyres, Ultegra R8000 and some Zip service course bars and stem, and voila! Modern looking aero bike for a fraction of the cost. Pay the penalty and wait a bit, but that's nothing compared to how cool it feels to ride, especially when you see yourself in a shop window.
Let's have a look at that then.
There's the original.
So it's just a TT bike, an old like what Lancer.
Bit of a monstrosity, to be perfectly honest. All those cables, higgledy-piggledy, spaghetti junction at the front. Moving on. Boom!
Wowzers.
Yeah, exactly. Look how good that
turned
looks.
that into an aero bike, hasn't he?
That looks absolutely... It's funny, isn't it? Because it's like a slight sloping top tube downwards.
Asymmetric chain rings.
Yeah, they look wild and wacky, don't they, still?
Yeah.
That is a nice looking bike, isn't it, that? That's a big old upgrade.
Do you know what? I've seen that done a couple of times before where someone's taken an old TT bike frame and turned it into an aero road bike. I think that's a really cool thing to do.
Big fan of that.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Absolutely spot on. Just cut down that steer. Oh no, not bike fault.
Yeah.
Right then. So there we are.
Yeah.
That's Cameron.
Well, a bit of a local derby this week because Cameron is up against David from Bristol, a mere stone throw away from Bath.
Yeah, there we are. Another stone being thrown this week, isn't it?
Yeah, David bought this 4 years ago as his girlfriend's first road bike for just £175.
Ooh.
And, well, look at that. It's nice, isn't it? After many trading rides, it was time to upgrade it in preparation for a 330-kilometre epic. They spent £513. Very precise sum there. And many hours...
Must be a bookkeeper.
Yes, or an accountant.
Yeah.
And now the classic frame is ready for many more kilometres. It rides like a dream, and David thinks it beats your cheap bike superbike.
David.
So
David.
there you
Right,
go.
let's have a look then what David's
there's
got.
His Pinarello.
Yeah, there
Bit
it
of a
is.
chunky saddle on
yeah,
there.
a bit of a downward pointing angle on that saddle.
Needs to fix that, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what he did to it.
All right, for his girlfriend. Well, water bottle cage is taken off. Not going to
Nice.
hydrate you very well on that 330-kilometre ride, is it?
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
I haven't thought that through, David. With very nice Vision wheels on there.
Yeah. That's exactly what I use, isn't it?
Yeah.
Still trying to beat me, are you, David?
Yeah. Just copying you.
Yeah.
You're an influencer.
Imitation, flattery, and all that.
105 is mint, isn't it?
Yeah,
it looks so
very,
good.
very good.
For what it costs,
Yeah.
that's good.
It's a good upgrade, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good at £513 on the dot, on the nail.
That's
Yeah, I don't know.
Change the brakes as well. That's going to make a big difference.
Yeah.
That's nice, that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, who's it going to be? Cameron or David? Bath or Bristol? You decide. Vote up there. And someone will get the new water bottle. Oh, lucky.
Water sold separately. Bike of the week time now, and last week we had the battle of the suspension road bikes. We put up the new Specialized Roubaix with the Future Shock against the new Pinarello Dogma FS with its adaptive front and rear suspension. And the winner
Go on.
was the Roubaix.
Wow. How much did it win by?
52% again.
That's weird. Something weird is happening.
Why is it always 52%?
It's always 52%. I don't know, and I almost don't want to know why.
John, the people have spoken. Let it go.
I know.
Let it
I'm
go.
gonna let them all go.
Anyway, what's up this week?
Okay, right, I've decided this week, Ollie, just to mix it up a little bit. We're not going to have bikes this week for people to vote on. Instead, we're going to have probably the thing which people ask for most, the free hub sound check. So, we got two absolute crackers. I was annoying everyone in the office, wasn't I? Spinning around hubs, and it was tickety-tick, and people were, well, disrupted, let's say. Right, so anyway, we're going to have, first up is the sound of the Vision free hub. So have a little listen. Okay, and that's up against the DT Swiss Star ratchet mechanism. Here we go. Oh, two pretty contrasting free hubs there.
I do like a free hub sound.
Yeah, I do like them too.
Right, well, it's not up to us though.
No.
Let us know which one you prefer, which one you think is the best.
Up there. Will it be 52% again?
Probably.
Probably. Gotta be, isn't it? Right, it's now time for the bike vault, the moment of the show where we rate your bike either nice or super nice. Ollie, tell them though, how do they get their bike into the bike vault?
Well, John, that's really easy. All you have to do is submit pictures of your bikes using the uploader, the link to which is in the description below.
Yeah, and if it's nice, well, we say it's nice, and if it's super nice, we ring the bell like that. We wake Ollie up because, well, we've had a long weekend, haven't we? Well, not us two specifically, but just in general. Right, anyway, let's crack on then with the first bike this week, and it comes in from Manan in the Gandhi Mandat, Guwahati, Assam, India. I do hope I've pronounced those names correctly.
I think that was spot on, that, John.
Yeah. Anyway, right, so this is Manan's Scott Speedster 40. First ride on it, and that is a beauty, isn't it?
Ooh. I do like that it's sort of reminiscent from the I Am days, I Am Cycling, with the sort of the navy and the orange on there. I do like that colour scheme. And look at that nice bit of sun flare.
Yeah, oh, that's beautiful actually.
He's done well there.
Yeah, Manan, I think that's a fantastic looking bike.
Yeah, it's
Look
very
at the backdrop.
Smart. And he's done the valves.
Yes.
Come on, he's done the valves.
Yeah, the cranks, everything.
Yeah.
Spot on. Yeah. I can't fault it.
Nah, he's done a good job there.
Right.
No excess steerer.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Manan, super nice. Right, Ollie, who is next? Oh, where have we got to?
Is that the Browse? That's the Browse. One of my favourite climbs, this. So Jack, well, is his name Jack?
Or is it Jacques?
Jacques. In the south of France, with his Orbea Mitis Euskaltel it's Euskaltel colours as well. Extra points for that, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a nice looking bike.
Cool, yeah. Bought it for just £200. Replaced his upgrade. It's an upgrade as well.
Oh, blimey.
Very sort of negative downward pointing stem there as well.
Quite a bit of steer though popping out there, isn't there?
Yes.
There, it looks to be quite a small cassette on the rear too.
Does he get extra points for that?
Yeah. Tough that. And well, Ollie recognised the Klem.
Yes.
And also, I like those saddlebags. That's one of the physique ones, isn't it? That pops into the little clip on the back.
The clip. They're
Big fan of that.
neat. Those, yeah. I mean, the wheels aren't slightly aligned, but sometimes I do let things go. I think the first rules of bike vault is there are no rules. Except there are.
Yeah, but we make them and change them.
Yeah.
Don't we? All the time.
Yeah. What are you thinking, John?
Well, personally, I can't. Yeah, I know there's that bit of steerer. I know, but I don't think you can let that go, can you?
No.
Nice bike, Jack. Right, next up, we have got someone called Doctor from Santa Cruz in California.
Doctor Who?
I'm not falling for that. The photo is taken at the Natural Bridges State Beach. It's a Zeus Super Kronos 1980s vintage bike. Have a look at that, Ollie.
Yeah.
Whoa. Valves lined up, logos are lined up. Big chainring. Look at all the drillium on that chainring as well. Look, that's been drilled out.
Town, yeah.
Yeah. The old pillar drill.
Well, you got a lot of time in your hands, haven't you, when you've got a time travelling machine. So,
Oh, God.
yeah.
We didn't even set that one up either. That, personally,
I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
And the bar tape's
Yeah.
pristine, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And it's just period correct, other than, I guess, the Mavic Open Pro rims.
Do you know what, as well? I like the little matching straps that match the bar tape in the frame on the pedals.
Yeah.
That's really
Toe
smart.
straps, they look good, don't they?
Period correct bottle cage.
Oh, it's a great looking bike, that.
Super nice.
Yeah, super nice.
Easy done.
Well done, Doc. Right, Ollie, who've we got next?
We have got Mo. I wonder if he works in a tavern. Anyway, he's from Andover in Connecticut, in the US of A. And he's got his Specialized Venge Ultegra with it on as well. That's nice. Look at that. Nice Vision. I like that Vision chainring.
Yeah, it's got a Vision
like
crank on there as well, hasn't it? The old Trimax one.
Yeah, and his Blueprint SLR 60mm wheels.
Look at that bar tape. I tell you what, Mo's a tall person. How much seat post there is?
There's a lot of seat post there.
Big head tube.
Yeah, that is.
Bar tape looks good.
Curious with he's got one of those fabric bottles on that's like a cageless bottle, but then a cage as well.
Yeah, it's throwing me off a little bit.
It's like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
That's...
The valves aren't lined up. Now, we've gone through this, haven't we?
Yeah.
How many times? Dozens.
Yeah, but he has got his tyres logoed correctly up with the valves.
Yeah, I suppose they're just slightly off.
Yeah.
Also, ingenious use of the water bottle propping up the bike using the non-drive side pedal.
Do you know what?
However, your pedal could well have some grease on it that you could then be ingesting whilst having your refreshment.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think he's got double wrap bar tape there as well.
Yeah,
on his Super Cans bar tape.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, John? I like that bridge.
I do. There's so many good things about it. Do you know what? I think it's probably a super nice. Probably, I say. But I'm waiting for you really to either.
Do you know what? I was. I'm in a good mood. Super nice.
Super nice it is. What a Mo. We'll pop into your tavern at some point. Right then, the next one, well, final one even, is Manuel from Luxembourg. Apparently this is an old railway tunnel, which is now a bike path. We got some of those in Britain as well, haven't we?
Good, yeah.
In fact, I could easily be mistaken for that being, in Britain. Either way, it's a Bianchi or Bianchi Intenso. People love to correct the pronunciation on that. It's in that, a red colour. Got SRAM red and Force, it looks like. What's that chain set?
What is that?
It's been debadged, isn't it? Looks like an FSA one.
That fork, that crank arm looks like it's made out of blue tack. What's going on there?
It's just the colour. There's a lot of colour coordination being done here. So you've got the inline seat post, that's white. Stems white, hoods are white.
Hoods.
Yeah, you haven't seen that for a while.
No.
Quite a lot of spacers above the stem too.
Yeah.
Some of the original Rover wheels there. And the valves are lined up, but they're not at the 6 o'clock position. They're at the kind of 5 o'clock, 4:30 position.
Sometimes we can let that go though.
Yeah, we can, yeah. Matching bottle cages, matching saddle,
it's very distinctive bike, this, isn't it?
Red spokes.
Top marks for colour coordination.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously had a plan, and he's stuck to it, and I admire that.
Yeah, Manuel. That's a nice looking bike, that.
Yeah.
I think it's a super nice.
You think?
Yeah.
I think it is as well.
Yeah, I think it is because of all the coordination and matchy stuff.
Thought gone into it.
Right, I'm going to give it a ring. Like Ollie said at the start, if you want your bike to go into the Bike Vault, make sure you use the uploader tool found there in the description, and who knows, maybe you'll get in. And please line up those valves. Makes sense, doesn't it?
I always forget to do it.
He does. And granny gear.
Because I'm always in the granny gear.
Right, there we are, nearly time for the end of the show. But don't worry, because in the next week we've got loads more great content coming up for you, including Ollie takes a look at the new Look gravel bike.
Yeah, e-bikes as well.
Oh, yes, you do like that, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And also, Si's been bike packing and doing the North Coast 500. So we've got some videos coming out about that and the kit he's been using.
Yes, just do stay tuned on the channel for all those. Of course, remember to like and share this video with your friends and also subscribe to the channel. And if you've not done so already, make sure you click that little notification icon so you get a reminder bell each and every time we post a video. How does it go, Ollie?
Thanks, John.
It doesn't go like that. No, I don't. Right, okay, there we are. So now for 2 more great videos, how about clicking on Ollie for 1?
And John's face.
So weird. See you next week.